The whole problem started when the prosecution closed and they now said, oh yeah, defense, come now and open your case. That was when the whole drama opened. In case we don't know, a lot of us knew. Any lawyer that knows his onion will tell you that once a matter goes into defense, judgment is on site. There is virtually nothing you can do to stop a matter which has proceeded to defense to go to full judgment. Once a matter goes to defense, judgment is on site. Ask any lawyer you know. Therefore, all that time we were making all those noise and all those drama, some of us knew that judgment was going to come in a short time in that matter, no matter what you do. So, my dear brethren, all strategies were used to stop the matter from proceeding to judgment, including the protests. When the protests were on, some of us silently knew that even the protests will not stop that judgment. Everything was done to stop the judgment from coming. But finally, the judgment came. Now, this is my advice, my dear brethren. Insulting Justice Kayode James Omotosho on social media, insulting Yoruba people, raising all manner of invectives and conjectures on social media, causing all the Yoruba people will not help this case. When you are in a hole, stop digging. When you have done everything possible and it doesn't work, it's time to change strategy. It is only a fool that does the same thing always and expects the same result. It is time to say, look, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been held since I think either 2021 or 2022 or thereabout. From that period, you have done everything. You have done protests, you have burnt houses, you have burnt vehicles, a lot of people has died. You have said, oh, if they don't release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, this will happen, and they didn't release him. We have done everything possible. We have insulted Buhari. From Buhari, we have insulted Nigeria. We have called Nigeria zoo. It has not changed anything. It is high time we realize that that strategy is not working. It is a time to change strategy. Causing Justice James Kayode Omotosho, insulting him and insulting Yoruba people for being a judge in a matter is the worst mistake you are making. I heard Maxwell saying he will go on appeal, and you guys are clapping at that video of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu insulting the judge in the full glare of the whole world, saying Omotosho, calling him Omotosho, committing contempt ex facie before the court, and you all were clapping. Tell me where in this world you have seen such spectacle. Tell me where in this world, whether it's in US or in Canada or in Britain or anywhere in the world where sanity works, where you have seen somebody cursing a judge and you want to go on appeal at the Court of Appeal. And you want, when you go to Court of Appeal, the justices of the Court of Appeal will be clapping for you. You want to go to the Supreme Court and you want the justices of the Supreme Court to clap for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for insulting Kayode James Omotosho, for doing his job. My brethren, it is time for us to think and change our strategy. The strategy is not working. The truth about the matter is, it is time to face reality. You all were clapping when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, you think you can jail me, you cannot jail me. He boasted that he cannot be jailed. So even if the federal government did not resolve to see this judgment through, the fact that he was standing before the judge and saying, you think you can jail me, let me tell you, you cannot jail me, I am Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, committing contempt before the court, showing that he's superhuman, that he is more than everybody. So you can understand the point we are. Now the point we are is that judgment has been delivered. All the noise, all the strategies that you felt that he cannot be jailed, that the Federal Republic of Nigeria cannot try him, everything you did that he must be released unconditionally has failed. You must come to that realization. And then it is time to be humble and quiet. It is time to allow reasonable people, responsible people to now delve into the matter. Even his conviction is not final. It is time to walk on the ground. So as I'm talking to you, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can still be free. But I still direct you to the first video. If he asked for an out-of-court settlement, what happened? Can you go to an out-of-court settlement with the federal government and you still say, release him unconditionally? That is no. Because you want the federal government to give something, which is to set him free. What are you considering to give? Have you asked yourself that question? What will you offer to the federal government in exchange for that freedom that you want them to set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu free? What do you think Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from his team should offer the federal government? That is where we are. That is what we should be talking about. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on his own, not me, not you, not even the judge, had earlier applied to the federal government for an out-of-court settlement. And I think that is what can solve it. But where we differ is you cannot be applying for an out-of-court settlement. You cannot be applying for a settlement of the matter and be saying release him unconditionally. Something must give way to something. In settlement, you must give something to take something. Now I leave it to you. Now I leave the puzzle to you. What do you think should be appropriate to offer the federal government in exchange for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's freedom? Now is no longer the time to make noise, because your noise cannot change anything. Every strategy you have used, the protest, everything has failed. The insults on social media has failed. Causing Justice Omotosho, causing the prosecution, calling it a script, calling this and that, everything has failed. The question now is that responsible people must go in and now help Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, not the noise. Everything you have done has failed. The federal government has refused to be cajoled. They have refused all the threats you have given. So now, it's time to act reasonably, to think. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself called for an out-of-court settlement, why do you think he did that? Because he's already in. When you're in, you're in. He's already in. He's the one facing the trial. He's the one being held, not you. So it's time for you to quieten the noise and allow responsible people, allow reasonable people to go in and now solve the matter. You have burnt your house, you have burnt cars, you have done everything, you have caused sit at home. Sit at home does not stop anything. So will you continue to be doing the same thing that is not producing results? Everything you have done has failed to produce a result. That settlement, why did the settlement not go on? What can be done to bring about the settlement? If you want federal government to concede to his freedom, what will you offer the federal government? These are the issues. Not coming on social media and causing Justice Kayode Omotosho. I'm just giving you the video. When the charges were read, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and his team of lawyers ought to raise objection to the charge, they didn't raise the objection. If you want to raise objection to a charge, raise it before you say, I am not guilty. If you felt that one of the charges is invalid, or there is no law, or you raise it before the plea. Ask any lawyer. Go out and ask any lawyer. The appropriate time to raise an objection to a charge, the appropriate time is before the charge is read.